Do you like what we've done with the space?
No. I would have tidied it up. I mean, it's obviously all my stuff. I love it. I'm Rick Brown. I'm 60 this year. That was a lot of fun. Always wanted to be a vet growing up. Always had pets. And in the garden I grew up in, there would be numerous guinea pig graves. It's not a prerequisite. You love animals to be a vet, but it helps. I had a great time at first year uni and consequently didn't pass all the subjects. And in our course, you have to pass everything to move on to the next year. They're all prerequisites. So I enjoyed first year so much I had to go back and do it again. And I'd done a placement at a veterinary clinic and I thought, this is fantastic. And I was offered that job before my final year exam, so it kind of took a lot of pressure off. But I got a job in Geelong and the rest is history because I've been in Geelong 30 years at the same practice. I should say, and I'm very happily married still to Aileen, who's from Ireland, and that's certainly opened my horizons. And we got 3 great kids, so it's really good. Now this is exciting. This is a bag to knock out a horse, putting the scrotum with the 2 testicles in. It's a bladder stone from a dog. That's for rasping horses' teeth. The old wallpaper from the old kitchen. If all this stuff falls down, that's going to look bad. So you would slide that into the horse's mouth. These were hand shears, and that's going that way. Yeah, that's about it, mate. So I'm one of 3 equal partners, and the other 2 are Rod and Fiona. We work very well together. There's usual days and there's unusual days, and you don't know what you're going to get. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing for our clinic to have 40 to 60 consultations in the main clinic in a day, on top of surgeries and procedures. You can have days planned and an emergency will come in. Or you might go in to remove an abdominal tumour, and sometimes you find more in there than you bargained for. I'm Rick. So 6 months ago we started him on the Zactin.
Yes.
Do you find it helpful?
Yeah, very. Like, he's much calmer at home. We had forgotten to give it to him a few mornings here and there. We had a few kids around on the long.
Do you think he's reactive with kids?
No, there was one time before we started him on this, and he snapped at that kid. He gave him a nip on the leg, and that's why we came in the first place, because we could tell he was getting really wound up about that play, and we usually like to keep him away when there's other kids around.
So continue to do that despite him being on this, because I'm at the end of some bad stories at the other end. All right, all done. It's always the way, dogs that bite kids, and when you've got to euthanize them, it's generally been the kid's fault. But you can't have that. And it's because kids are at the height, they'll generally get it on the face. And this last one that I had within the last 6 months, they were devastated. But they hospitalised the child. Their jaws are very strong. Dog bites bloody hurt, I know, I've had a few. And but the dog's allowed on beds, and it was on their daughter's bed in their house, and she's got a mate round to play. She goes to give the dog a kiss or cuddle it on the bed, and it can't say piss off. It turns and goes piss off. But they were devastated. You have to you have to distance yourself from it. Or you couldn't keep doing it. And I mean, I wasn't the main vet that had to do it as well. That's it. Euthanasias. You would concentrate very hard on doing the physical skill you had to do to the best of your ability to make it as quick and as painless as possible. You got to do the good and the bad that comes with your work and your responsibility as a vet. You're not detached from it. I find it such a great thing that you can help people you're really close to in a really emotional, hard time, that you're the one that can help them. The family that came to the clinic, and we're quite happy there, but I had them all in the room, the whole family there. I love that. And it was time for that dog, and everyone's on board with the decision, and whilst they're sad, they know it's the right thing. And people are very appreciative of that, which is lovely too. It's kind of like, everyone wants to be a vet when they're a kid, kind of think, and you hear so many people go, I used to want to be a vet when I was a kid, and it's nice, and it's that, you love animals, but it's not as simple as that, obviously. Yeah, it's a demanding profession, even if you've got well-trained clients. I said it that way on purpose. It's a demanding profession, but it's a very rewarding profession, and that's why people want to do it. Yeah, I definitely felt sometimes that you were just going through the motions, and you weren't putting in. So yeah, obviously there's an emotional put in we did, and you weren't doing that because you had just had none left. But there were still sick animals that had to be treated. And I think that's why then it can become mental health can become so bad if you, not that it's a bad thing, but if you're super passionate about something and you're putting in long hours, and then you're also super stressed, and then things aren't working out. I think vets generally are very pragmatic, meaning like, we go, this is a problem, so this is how you treat it. We don't need to get emotional about it. The owners can get emotional and we can help them. But we're dealing with the problem we can deal with, and these are the options of what we can do. And so this is what we do to move on.
So one statistic we found from the AVA is that the rate of suicide in the veterinary industry is 4 times higher than anyone in the general public. Why do you think that number is as high as it is?
Obviously a multitude of reasons. I think that one of the biggest things is, and we talked about it briefly this week at work because you guys are here, we have access to euthanasia solution that's there. And it's in a lock cupboard, but every vet's got the key to the cupboard because every vet needs it for our job. Rod added which I had never thought of. We also get to see how good it is. It is bloody good and it's bloody peaceful. So if people are at that, I'm at the end, it's there. I was a fellow in his 50s who lost his life partner, his wife died after a battle with cancer, and he made the decision, that's it. And I don't know the fellow at all, and I just felt for him that he feels that bad at that time to do that because he had kids. And I think when people make that decision, they just don't understand what they can't understand at that time, obviously. I think maybe they can at other times, that the devastated people they leave behind is worse than anything. I'm rethinking whether I think this is true or not, or I'm wanting to think it's true. I don't think just because I do more euthanasias, because I'm a small animal vet, which is following what I said, I think, that makes me more likely to do that at all. But is that just because I'm more FA? I just said that friend of Rod's, who in his 50s, I can't understand that. I think he had a pretty good practice as well. And not that I want to mize myself, but if I would be absolutely devastated if I lost Aileen. Would have got 3 great kids, so. While even outside of other vets, ever think there's no one you can't talk to. You ring them up and talk to them. Your family or friends, and but say it doesn't even get to that point, you must have an interest outside your job. I know it's so good to be focused and passionate about it and that, but it's not the one thing in your life. There's still great, good, exciting stuff out there, and good relationships, friendships, experiences to be had. You mightn't feel like doing them for a while, but you just get through each day and it gets better.